Hello fellow Texans, this is Michael the Tall Roofer, and today I'm wearing a hat. Yesterday I had a bad hair day. A client of mine, actually they reached out to my wife. They said we had a roofer, he came, he looked. We don't think we have hail damage, but can you give us a second opinion because he says we need a full roof replacement. With a little bit of knowledge, I kind of talked to the homeowner and said with your insurance company they're looking for 7 to 8 hail hits. This roofer only did 2 sample areas. And not even on the strong side of where most of the storms come in. So I'm going to kind of show you what they did and something that kind of rubs me the wrong way. But let me just show you first kind of what their sample areas look like. So right here they did a 6x6, which technically they had more roof surface. They could have done a lot more. But they have this marked, which that's not hail. They have this marked, which isn't hail. Looks like here you can tell that something's been rubbed. You can see how the color is black. I don't know if you can see it on here, but this has been rubbed. Somebody rubbed this with a finger or a tool and they marked that as a hail hit. This here is a line, almost like a screwdriver or something like that. Again, we have something impressioned here, and we have something, looks like something dug in here, maybe a pitch or maybe a shingle gauge or a screwdriver or something, I don't know, whatever he's carrying on him. And then this too. So basically you have 2 spots saying 6x6. That's an inappropriate place. They actually should have done their sample over here on this slope. They had a lot of more area to work with. But they did not. And if we come over to this section and I'm looking for the consistency and the same pattern as I saw over there, I'm not seeing it on this roof surface. I don't know where the adjuster's going to be looking for his roof sample, but they all need to look the same. Over here would have been a good sample for the left elevation, and the left elevation, once again, this is where the storms would be coming from. They would be coming this way, and I am not seeing the same pattern that was in his sample area. All right. So now I'm going to walk to his back elevation sample area, and I'll show you what I would prefer versus what this roofer had done. Let me show you this wind section here that they had removed the shingles, and this is what kind of gets me a little bit like a spidey sense. Why did they do this? They removed some shingles, and when they removed some shingles, they took them with them. They didn't remove shingles and then put an ice and water or a felt down to protect it. This area is the wind damaged area, and there's paper felt, and water can get behind this. And so while they're, I don't know, playing a weight game with the homeowner, there could be some potential leaks coming in right here. So they're on the hook now. The homeowner, oh, you want us to come back out and fix it because we took some shingles? If I were to do this, if I needed the shingles to find out what type they were, I would say, okay, well, let me go ahead and take some and then come back and tell you what kind they are. But there, you can tell right there, it's a Tamco shingle. So there was no reason to take this shingle other than to keep these homeowners on the hook. I mean, I hate to be critical of someone else, but that's a little dirty. All right, let's check out the rest of this roof. All right, we're gonna come down the slope. I know it's easy to be a critic, but look at this. When they installed this roof system, they probably should have switched out the razor. I mean, the shingles are going in and out, like a waviness. I don't know. And it does allow wind to get in here, I guess. I don't know. You know, it's real hard to go too deep into an install when you weren't here to watch them do it. But we do have some fiberglass mat exposed. There's nothing wrong with this fiberglass mat. It's part of the shingle. It's the actual first layer when they're making it. It just means the roof's getting older, about 7 years old here, and here. And of course, the roofer did not do any sample area here, And of course, it's hard to do sample areas where the dormers are, but there's some more fiberglass here. They probably should have done a sample area over here for the front of the house and no sample area. And over here for the left elevation where the storms come in, they should have done a sample area here. They did not, but even looking at the sample area, it's not consistent with what they had marked on the other side. Also, once again, let's switch out our razors. We got something sticking up here. We got a nail head sticking up, and I have to get a hammer and get that down and get a reseal on it. But other than that, let me show you something else that kind of is a pet peeve of mine. So this is a foam attic insulation. You can tell that there are no vents anywhere on the top of this, which is totally fine. But most shingle manufacturers have a polymer-based asphalt, and that polymer-based asphalt says that they still have to have ventilation. So the garage never has foam insulation. Well, I shouldn't say never, but most of the time it doesn't. If I look at it, there is one set of ventilation. Now, that means that you have an exit ventilation. Let's look down here, and we'll come underneath here, and we'll look at this eave, and we'll see, this soffit, and we'll see if we see any vents that come up and travel air up to get to here. So before I go down there, I'll just show you this vent. Call it a static vent if it doesn't have a motor in it, like a power vent. And if I look at it, to me, this just looks like a static vent. A lot of times these will go out after about 3 or 4 years because the internal thermostat in these will cause the motor to run constantly, and the motor burns out. The unit wants to still work, but now the motor doesn't work. So either this is a power vent with a burnt out motor, or it's a static vent. A lot of times I'll come in like this. Oh yeah, that's hot, that's hot. I'll put my ear against it and see if I can hear the motor, and I did not. So I'm guessing it's just a static vent. All right, let me come back down over here. Once again, I like that valley. I like that valley. Come over here, and I'm gonna come down this ladder. Let's see if I can do this all in one, guys. So right there, well, I've seen people try to put their foot on this rail here, and if you think about it, if you put your weight here and push down, the bottom of the ladder can come up. I always like to put my foot below the gutter, okay? Below the gutter. I mean, it's pretty, but if you think about it, if you put your weight here or here, you could kick the bottom of this ladder up, and it would not be an adventurous ride you'd want to ride. It would be pretty bad. All right, let me come over here and just show you what this attic should look like if it had a proper vent system. And a lot of times this is really the builder. All right, so right here, you can see that this should have some type of intake ventilation. So this vent is still getting hot air to come out of it. Just I would prefer to see some intake vents to help this exit vent. These shingles right here are damaged and need to be replaced. A lot of times roofers will just cover this entire surface and maybe go down here for show. The point is to stop a leak. A lot of times roofers do stuff like that, so they can make it look worse to the insurance company. The insurance company still has to see what's underneath it. What I'm going to do today is just kind of cap nail some of these down for the repair that we'll do on this property. No need to go down the whole roof surface here and make all these nail holes when my issue's right here. So I'm going to go ahead and cap nail some of these down so they don't come up, especially right here. I think is where one of the shingles that they pulled up, and they pulled it up from here, and there's a tear here, which isn't wind damage. I think this happened when they ripped the shingle up. But what we're going to do is we're going to cap nail this down to prevent water. And like I said, the seal of this shingle is still solid. So we're just going to do a couple cap nails for now to prevent further damage before we do the repair. All right, fellow Texans, I'm done. I went ahead and did a little cap nail on that to secure the shingles while we're getting the repair in order. But once again, I'm a secondary roofer. Something wasn't right. Somebody said, hey, I wish I was a first roofer, but somebody called around and said, hey, this doesn't feel right. Do you know of anybody trustworthy? This guy came to our door, was saying we need a full roof replacement. None of our other neighbors are getting roof replacements. Can you please come and tell us what's going on? Well, roofing is a sales position, okay? So roofers, they make money if they get a sale. They make also money if they do a repair, but the money's like this and they want the bigger paycheck. And so since this is a sales position, guys will come out and they will ding up the roof. I looked at the entire roof surface and I did not see the same marks that I saw in the sample areas. That means, you know, I wasn't here. I don't want to accuse the guy of anything, but I think he damaged that section of the roof. And the only way for him to even get an adjuster to look at maybe possible hail damage / vandalism is if he directed him to exactly where he did his sample areas. So follow your roofer, follow the inspector that's inspecting your roof around to make sure that they're not digging into your roof system and basically causing vandalism on your roof. And that can, I mean, I don't see insurance companies doing it too often, but they talk about it. It could be a bad deal for you. So just, this is your property, this is your investment. Stick around with the roofer. And if they're uncomfortable with you on the roof, then there's a reason for that. You want an honest opinion? Call the tall roofer. Out. Oh, wait. Oh, whoa. Who put that there? Just kidding. I knew it was there. The camera didn't know it was there, but I knew it was there. All right, tall roofer out. Oh, wait, hold on. Gotta get off this roof again. Let's see if I can get off this roof appropriately. Like I said, the valley is a friend. It's a friend of mine, a friend of yours. There's that sample area. And once again, on a ladder, I do not want to step on the top rungs because it could kick the bottom of the ladder out. And so the best thing to do is put your foot below the gutter so you don't kick the bottom out. If I were to try to step up here above the roof line, you'd kick the bottom of that ladder out, and that'd be a bad day for everybody. It's a ride I don't want to go on. And this is what I like to see when I come down a roof. Look at what this client did for me. I'm thirsty.